Welcome to the Explainer. So, Tesla is trying to completely reinvent the assembly line. And today, we're going to dig into the patents that show us exactly how they plan to do it. And let me tell you, this isn't just about making cars a little faster or a little cheaper. This is about fundamentally rethinking how a vehicle comes together from the ground up.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. How on earth do airplanes, kitchen cabinets, and vacuum cleaners explain Tesla's next car? It sounds a little crazy, right? But believe it or not, these three analogies are the absolute key to understanding Tesla's radical new manufacturing plan, what people are calling the Unboxed process. Each one unlocks a core innovation that, when you put them together, could completely change the factory floor as we know it.
You know, at the end of the day, the goal is pretty simple, but it's also incredibly ambitious. Build a car with the same ease as snapping together Lego bricks. The whole point is to radically simplify assembly, to get around all the old-school bottlenecks like the paint shop, and to open the door for a whole new generation of low-cost vehicles.
All right, let's get into the first major challenge of building any car: precision. I mean, how do you get these massive, heavy body panels to line up perfectly? Not just once, but thousands and thousands of times a day? Well, Tesla's answer seems to come from the world of aerospace.
See, the traditional way of making cars has this huge problem. It's called tolerance stack-up. Just imagine you're lining up dominoes. If each one is just a tiny bit off, by the time you get to the end of the line, that last domino is way out of place. The exact same thing happens with car panels. But Tesla's new system fixes this with a single absolute reference point, what the patent calls a global datum.
This approach is basically a mirror image of modern aircraft assembly. Builders like Boeing and Airbus don't just weld one piece of the fuselage to the next one. No way. They use these massive precision jigs with a laser reference grid. Every single section gets mounted to its own exact coordinates, not just to its neighbor. This patent is all about bringing that same aerospace-level precision to the car world.
So here's how it actually works on the factory floor. A robot arm grabs a panel using vacuum clamps. Another robot zips in and applies this super strong structural glue. Then the panel is moved to its perfect spot, guided by that single global datum. But how does it stay there while the glue is drying? Well, that's the clever part. A system of tiny pins and fast-acting hot melt adhesive acts like an instant spot weld, locking it all down in a fraction of a second.
And the result of all this? It's a massive efficiency gain. By just getting rid of countless traditional clips, brackets, and screws, this system cuts the number of parts needed for this step by a whopping 65%. And you know what fewer parts means? A faster, simpler, and way more reliable process.
Okay, so the big panels are perfectly aligned. That's awesome. But what about all the smaller stuff? The interior trim pieces, the decorative bits. How do you attach all of those with that same simple, tool-free approach? Well, this is where the kitchen cabinet analogy comes into play. The secret sauce here is this really ingenious design called the ridge channel architecture. I want you to think about modern kitchen cabinets for a second. You install one single rail on the wall, and every cabinet just hangs from it, perfectly level. This system uses that exact same idea. A central ridge on a bracket acts as that master rail. And just like that rail system on your wall ensures all your kitchen cabinets are perfectly level and evenly spaced, this central ridge makes sure all the car's trim pieces have these consistent, beautiful gaps and perfect flushness. And it all happens automatically, with no special tools or gauges needed.
The magic here is really in the geometry. The trim pieces have these small features on them called tuning ribs. These little ribs slide perfectly into carefully calibrated slots on the bracket. The exact shape of the ribs and the slots dictates the final position, guaranteeing a perfect fit every single time, with zero adjustments. And to lock it all in for good, as the trim is pushed all the way home, a notched rib clicks securely onto an integrated clip. It's a simple, really elegant mechanical interlock that makes sure nothing is ever going to rattle or come loose over the entire life of the car.
But wait a second. How do these clever trim brackets attach to the car body in the first place? This brings us to the final, and honestly, maybe the most elegant piece of this entire puzzle, the fastener itself. And for that, we turn to the humble vacuum cleaner. This system uses this special two-stage pin. It's so smart. It can be delivered in a temporary state. It's held in place, but it's not fully locked. And this is brilliant because it lets a worker or a robot position a whole bunch of parts at once.
Then, with just a simple push, each pin transitions to the final engaged state, locking everything down securely.
It's literally just like attaching a tool to your vacuum cleaner. You push it on until you hear and feel that satisfying click. That click tells you a strong, secure connection has been made, all without needing a single tool. This patent brings that same intuitive, tool-free simplicity right to the factory floor.
And as if that wasn't clever enough, this design is also incredibly efficient. There's an integrated umbrella structure on the pin that compresses as it's pushed in, and it creates a perfect watertight seal. This completely eliminates the need for separate rubber gaskets, which cuts down on parts, cost, and assembly time. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, so let's put it all together. When you combine these three distinct but totally interconnected ideas, the aerospace precision, the modular assembly, the tool-free fasteners, you get something that is truly revolutionary. By combining these three innovations, building with the precision of an airplane, assembling with the simplicity of kitchen cabinets, and connecting everything with the ease of a vacuum cleaner, Tesla has created this holistic system that's just designed for radical efficiency. It really is a powerful combination of benefits.
Now, what's really important to understand here is that these patents aren't just theoretical ideas on a piece of paper. They are the practical, nuts and bolts instructions for actually building the unboxed car. This is the core technology that could finally make that whole vision a reality and pave the way for manufacturing that is faster, cheaper, and higher quality than ever before.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When you make the act of manufacturing as simple as snapping Legos together, you don't just change how you build something, you change what you can build. So if this is the future of the car, what gets unboxed next?